rats in town can't figure where they lay. He took all my planning and just threw it all away. We have to wait to see what happens every day. Hey, but I'm not one of those guys.
Hey, welcome back into another episode of Tony Talking Trash about vinyl and other matters. And I've got a special guest today, longtime friend of mine, Jay Stickley. We're going to be discussing the subject of Todd Rundgren and his importance specifically to Kaiser. I mean, we grew up in Kaiser, as some of you may know or may not know, a small town in West Virginia in the Eastern Panhandle. And Todd Rundgren, always growing up, was very special. And the reason why we're also doing this is there's a concert coming up. Jay, when is that concert, and what's I forget the venue name. What is it?
It's May 15th in Morgantown. It's the Downtown Theater. I forget what the exact name is. It's on High Street. You can't miss it. The Main Street in Morgantown. But pretty sure it's May 15th, a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of the week, so it's kind of tough. But a lot of the old, I know Jay was saying, before we talked about it, we'll talk about a little bit about that coming in. But I remember, to me, Todd Rundgren was kind of one of the wake-up moments with me. I guess when we were all young, you get into music first in the beginning. I guess I was little, and the rock scene before it always had gotten into stuff, was into Kiss and maybe What You Heard. But Todd was one of the first people, I think, that really broke through. What do you remember, Jay, about when he first came to prominence in Kaiser? Because there was certainly a period of time where he was very popular around here.
Right. Well, it was when I was in the 9th grade, so that would have been 74, 75. It was actually you that turned me on to Todd. I just got in to start collecting albums. I was a big Kiss fan and Rush, and then I think the first Todd album I got was Raw. And, it was just like it had the pyramid inside. I cut out the pyramid, did the apple experiment, and then shortly after that I actually went and saw the Raw tour, and after that I was sold. And then at first I played catch up, bought all the albums before that, but then from then on, it was like I was spreading the word about Todd and Kaiser. Like I said before, it's like those of us that like Todd almost made it cool for people that didn't listen to him or buy his albums to also like Todd and at least go to his concerts.
Yeah, you were telling me there's a bunch of your friends that didn't really, weren't really into collecting music and stuff, but still really, eventually found their way to Todd and went to a bunch of concerts with you, huh?
Oh, yes, and you know them all, too. There are a bunch of them. One guy's coming from South Carolina, Gary Hammond, and Craig Warnick's coming in, and
wow.
Sean Dorsey and a bunch of us. About the same people that would have been. We're blessed that I have so many friends that are still around.
You are, and they still have connections to coming back here. We've got Jay and I are working right now, actually, on the next musical thing that we're doing together about Kaiser. Some of the subjects of that's come up, and some of the songs, the lyrics, and things, but it's just interesting to me. Like I remember, I think it was Dallas Adams' sister had a job at the KLP or something, or QZK, and then all of a sudden, like I'm going down the road and I'm hearing all the children sing on like FM radio. I'm like, wow, did this happen? But he was just so popular around. My first connection to it, I guess, was probably through Tim Sirk here in town. Tim Sirk was a guy that was a lawyer here in town and had played in bands when I was young, and it actually was Pat Watson through him. Pat Watson was a guy that taught guitar down at this music store where John Bush just owned here in town, right down from where Bart's record store is, and I remember he had taught, I think, Couldn't I Just Tell You to Tim, and him and Tim played it. I think he was in a band with Tim for a short while. But then, I remember later that some of the Todd stuff that they came through Mitch, and Mitch was taking lessons from him. So it seemed like Pat was at least a fan of the early stuff. But I think what drew everybody in Kaiser, a lot of it was Todd's, who else had the covers at that time that we saw, like Wizard of True Star and Todd? People, there was a certain progressive or psychedelic nature to him that seemed like he was pushing the envelope, which a lot of
right. There was a lot going on there, and this was before the internet, so you had to go out and look for it and find it. And then the more you delved into it, I found out, he was in the Naz, Woody's Truck Stop. Oh, look, he produced Grand Funk Railroad. It was just like
True.
He was like the Benjamin Franklin of rock and roll.
Yeah, XTC, some of the great records. He's a whole big production career. But I remember he was so big back in my thing. And I believe you were telling the story in the one that we did, and we did a version of this, I guess, a couple of days ago. We were trying to kind of recapture some of that. But we talked a lot about live shows, and the Todd live shows came really big in the folklore. I know we were talking about one. I was talking about one show in particular, and I forget what I had done. I had done something, and I think it was I was in the first year at Potomac State. I guess it was in 78, 79, something like that. And I missed a couple concerts in that. Bought a ticket for the David Bowie tour and couldn't go. Danny's Ace took those concert tickets for me and went and said it was a great show, had a good time.
Oh, you missed the Bayou show, but you were.
That's right.
You got a shout out on King
name.
Biscuit's Flower Hour.
That's right. Well, I don't know if it was the King Biscuit Flower Hour, but I think it was broadcast by DC 101 at the time, but it was a local thing. What I found out from collecting, and for years, Jay, I had the largest. I don't know if you knew this at the time. I guess you had an idea, but I had probably one of the largest live Todd things, and kind of a repository. People would come and trade, and I was obsessive and had to have it all. And I kept a thing online about the little nuances between this show and that show, and how they played that a little different and stuff, which is kind of crazy, but it really kept me. I would find myself, in my normal job, I'd be driving up and down the road, just listening to CDs every day with a little note there, taking little notepads, and I'd put it on there. I literally listened to so much of it. Try to listen as much as I possibly could, but I'm just always been a big live. I was a big live thing with him because I thought, live a lot of times when you had the guitar solo,
right. And it wasn't easy to see Todd live. It was usually a smaller place to get the tickets, and that was part of the mystique for us. He was ours. We're cool. Everyone doesn't like Todd. He's not Boston. He's not selling a million because.
Right. And I thought he always should have, but I was just surprised.
Exactly.
You know what my theory was is that Peter Frampton got the fame that Todd had deserved. Somehow he swooped in there and without the credentials and got that whole thing, because I think Todd would have fit into that. Well,
thank God they didn't ask Todd to be in the Sgt. Pepper's movie.
Yeah, Back to the Bars being the anti-Frampton Comes Alive, I guess, or the against, because it's kind of some places it's kind of rough, but man, that band, I love that when they did those Band and City, all that stuff from that right in that period of time between that and Adventures in Utopia, and they're introducing those new songs. Man, that was the best.
See, I like the earlier Utopia. When it started getting to that, I always figured Todd was making so much money producing everything and Bat Out of Hell or whatever, that he could do whatever he wants, and he really wasn't into making money. But then I read some of his books, and he was. But when Utopia came out in the suits and all, I still like the show, but I was waiting for the encore. It's like, okay, let's get through this new album. So
you saw that. So you saw the Defacing music tour. They played the Beatles saying you weren't that. You see, that's the tour I did not see. That was probably the only one.
That one, and then there was one 3 months before that, it seems, when they had combat pants on.
Oh, Defacing music.
And then they came back as anyway. But then,
I think it was, who knows? I'm not sure. But 1980, I think 80 or 81. But they filmed, that was a hot, they were hot. When they were really hot too was that network. That network record was just called Utopia, Hammer in My Heart and all that, man. They were rolling at that point, man. They were one of the sleekest bands on, you could just, they whip off 7 rays and stuff just on the back of their hand after that. That's pretty impressive, man.
But I don't think I ever went to see Todd live. There wasn't at least 20 other people from Kaiser with me. And when they played in Merriweather, we had a caravan of 6 cars. And
I remember.
Everyone staying at the same hotel.
I remember that.
Same way with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That was when, the Raw tour and then the Pittsburgh show when they opened up for himself. That's my top 2, Todd. Yeah. Well, the Bayou was pretty, oh my God, don't get me started. They were all different.
But tell me about the Bayou thing. Yeah, I used to manage a store. When I was in D.C., I managed a store in that area, so I would get around there sometimes. Now, that was before that. That, of course, was the late 70s. I managed stores in the 80s. But
and that was an anomaly, because they had a bar, and it was pretty small. And they had the balcony, and the stage was right there. I couldn't believe it when I walked in. I said, oh, my gosh, and we could see Todd in this little small place. And that's where he did two shows. I snuck in, saw a second show. My friends actually waited on us, got us home, but that one, and then I thought you were at that tour. I guess because they were yelling your name.
I'm on the tape. Yeah, you still hear the thing. Tony,
Phantom and
Mitch, whatever.
Greg Smith.
Crazy.
Yeah, I remember walking around the bayou, and every 5 feet bumped. I didn't know you guys were coming. I didn't know you guys were coming.
Remember that? I remember from that show. I think I told you on the last episode we did that he did some routine or something.
To this day, I'm finding out. I went to see in '78. I remember I went to see Zappa, and at Cole Fieldhouse, and it was John Davis, Eric Clark, Dave Parsons, and I. And it was just like 2 years ago. I found out Freddie Altabella, Boo Coleman, and Craig Smith were also there.
They were there
and
too.
then you told me you were there too.
I don't think I was at that one.
Oh.
I don't think I was. I don't think that might have been before me slightly.
But anyway, I mean, like Kaiser, they really took on to Todd.
Yeah, they did, man. I love the Merriweather the Merriweather stuff too. I mean, that was a good show too. That was the show that we went, and I actually had a little bit of the shtick there that they talk about getting in early. I would go there like when they were setting up the stage, and you know, I used to tell my girlfriend Katrina at the time. I was saying, now if somebody from the hall says something with you, you're with the band. So if the band says something with you, you're with the hall. You know, you work here. So by that time, we saw somebody got a backstage band.
What was that horrible band?
Stood there and watched. Ambrosia. Yeah, tell us about that. You want to tell us?
Yeah,
we
were all staying in the same hotel.
They got disrespected.
Right. It was my friends and I and our girlfriends who could be worse than we were. They were all in love with Todd, had their shirts on. I guess we were on the elevator, and one of the Ambrosia guys goes, "Hey, we're in the opening band, Ambrosia." And it was just immediate laughter. Ambrosia sucks. We're here to see Todd.
My God, they probably didn't feel very, very good. And
I thought that was a mismatch. I guess
it was kind of strange.
Didn't they redo the John Ford Coley song that they redid of Todd?
No, they didn't. What they did was, that's how much I feel for you, baby.
But I thought they did Todd song too, a remake. I know
they did. Man, I don't.
Maybe that was who was that? England
Dan and John Ford.
How many people were in that band?
That's the version that people know.
Two people in the band. They got like 8 names.
Yeah, it is astonishing to me though why that version didn't take off. I mean, you know what was real weird about that song, "Love Is the Answer"? I remember, you remember going out to the '79 show in Zanesville before that record. I mean, it was before Adventures in Utopia was out, the summer before that. But I was just surprised. We hadn't seen him since Ups, and they go to the encores, and it's an encore. I mean, here it's from the last album, and it's a freaking encore. I mean that song, they knew almost from the start that song belonged as in a special.
And that was another good thing. Talk about, that was one of the few concerts that girls, they would want to go to, because Todd had something for everyone. Oh, yeah. He's playing his love ballad, and then he goes right into Heavy Metal Kids or Black Mariah and Satisfies. That's air guitar playing 70.
Yeah, I remember that tour, man. That one of the most important, I think one of the most, it lasted with me the impression for the longest time was that '79, that Zanesville concert when we we have a part of a song that we wrote that we talked a little bit about those escapades in the song called "Coming Undone." I think, was it "Coming Undone" or was it one of those? I don't remember.
That was
who was
the opening band there? I always forget them.
There's a bunch. The name of the band, the band that went for the day that I remember was the opening band was named Roadmaster. They were from Ohio.
And then Eddie Money, Cheap Trick,
Cars, and Time. And I remember some of the things that happened during that night. I mean, you guys. First of all, there's the big story about. Tell us about the story about in the hotel room.
Oh,
I never knew you guys got thrown out. Tell us what.
It was the first hotel I'd ever put on my father's credit card. It was in my name, and almost immediately I realized that was a mistake because more and more people came, and my friend pushed Eddie Money in the pool.
And by the way, you'll hear that on the record.
Pushed Eddie Money in the pool, and it was already bad enough, and the manager had already said one more time, 3 times. And I looked over, and 10 of my worst friends that could possibly come and think they were staying there came. And we just said, that's it, we're going to the show. And basically everyone ended up at the show. The parking lot the night before the show was intense, to say the least.
And I remember somebody breaking down the thing, and we're running in the dark through the thing, before sunrise. And then as the sun's coming up, we're in the front, we're right in the front of the stage. And that place later ended up called Buckeye thing, and Grateful Dead played a bunch of shit.
That's where they had the Gathering of the Juggalos. Let's go.
No, I saw the documentary, dude. I'm a little bit too hard. You're a better camper than me. You're still coming out and camping and stuff. Hell, this is a guy here at your age. Where do you go see metal? I mean, you're still going to see pretty heavy bands and stuff. So you see with your son, some of the stuff your son likes.
Oh yeah. He just went and saw Avenged Sevenfold. I took him to that concert when he was 13, and that's sort of what got me back into it. Because it was like I was like a shadow. I was like, holy crap, man!
Man, I have you
this
on
makes
here.
Kiss looks like the Cumberland Fair compared to the Ringling Brothers.
Yeah, I have you on here. You can provide some balance because it's been a long time since I've been. I mean, it is. I went to see Sparks, like I said.
I would have loved to see him.
Well, we're gonna go next.
Show.
We're gonna if we can get him next time. But I don't know how the hell Dino pulled that out of his
Tell Dean you and Dino should go see Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper with me in September.
Oh man, I can't. I couldn't do that. I can't. That's
Alice, I think he's cutting his head off again this tour.
Oh my God.
He quit for a while.
You know, one of the persons that was in Sea of Tranquility, one of the girls that was.
That was the second concert I saw. The first was Kiss, then Alice Cooper. So
Yeah, one of those girls from Sea of Tranquility that was on that is works on his crew, does the merch, I think, and stuff. Black-haired girl from Philadelphia. I forget Sydney Taylor. Yeah, she's in the she's on the crew with them and stuff. I can't. I'm not really interested. I haven't really liked. I mean, I liked Alice Cooper when I was younger, but some of the shit, some of the territory he stepped in here, he stepped in recently. I'm not. I'd rather not worry about it.
We're talking about Todd, we're talking about all the old shows. I remember, like, I gotten away from him in the military. I hadn't seen him in a while. And then was it 2000 and what was the tour that you took me to?
Might have been 2000.
2000 in Silver Spring. It was the trio tour.
Yeah.
And then he's been touring regularly since. I haven't gone to see him, but I watch him on YouTube and everything. So
Trey Sabatini, the only tour ever with Trey Sabatini on drums.
Have you heard anything about what's going to happen on the upcoming tour?
I think it's the same band. My understanding is it's the same band, pretty close to what the Clearly Human thing was when he did the tour. And I was gonna say that to you too. The last experience that I had with him was that COVID tour, and I got when he first started it off, the whole idea was, well, he's going to go somewhere since he can't go. We can't have people there. We can have a live audience in Chicago, but we'll have an area every night. One night we'll do Salt Lake. One night we'll do St. Louis. One night we'll do Minneapolis. One night we'll do DC. So what he would do is he would order food in the thing for the place. But the whole idea was that originally they were going to geofence everybody else out and just let the people buy it from DC. And you got to realize with that concept, there wasn't enough of demand really to make. I mean, it's really the way it was set up. It would be great to make money. He made a lot. Had to make a lot of money. Then they relaxed the geofencing, and I must have gone to 5, man. Fucking fantastic.
Did I go to see him at the Birchmere with you? The reason I said that is like I remember seeing him there because people were eating at tables. It was kind of weird.
I don't
remember
that.
He had the guy at the Space Hog opened up for him.
Oh, yeah. I was there. Yeah, I was there.
I thought you took. I think I went with you.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and he played the Queen song.
Yeah.
In the Lap of the Gods or whatever on piano. The guy from Space Hog did. Yeah. Yeah, he was dating Liv at the time. See, Liv and Todd were back on good terms back then. That was in the era when they were both, that had reconciled after the whole big Steven Tyler.
What's Liv's mom's name?
BB.
BB. Yeah. Whatever happened to hers?
Still around, is what I understand. I saw, when I was at a Todd stock.
He was never smart enough for Todd, I don't think.
Well, when I did see one that was smart. The one that I saw one of the things that's interesting is I saw the mother of the other children, Bean, who was living, and with the ballerina dancer. We talked to her at Todd stock. And she, for some reason, man, she and John Harmon, they were like yapping away like the whole night. And she really sat there and they were just talking. And
I think, isn't she the one we saw walking with Todd at Merriweather?
You did, yeah.
That was Dave.
Yes, he was.
And that was cool. We were walking. There was a whole carload of us Todd freaks. We didn't even stop. He's walking with his girlfriend. We just, Todd, yeah, rode by.
Wow.
I never want to be an idiot because.
Yep. That's one
I could always imagine Todd would probably make you feel like an idiot if you did something.
Yeah, that's the one I got backstage. I made sure that I got myself a towel. I saw him. He went to the side of the stage and quite perspired and like wiped off his towel. I said, that's mine. So when I went back home to Mike Hounshell's studio, we just hung that up. Anytime we were doing tracks, we would just touch the towel for inspiration.
You remember my apartment in college? I had my Todd autograph that he signed while he was playing at the Bayou show.
Oh,
the last
on stage?
Encore, yeah. And then someone stole it at the party.
Oh my God! Of course. Well, hopefully we can get a lot of those people. There's people.
I'm
originally watching, people from Kaiser, because there'll be plenty of people more. I was a little disappointed in the ticket sales there, but if you look, maybe the reason why is he does have a gig in Pittsburgh and he's got some other ones before.
Oh, they'll catch up.
I'm hoping so. I mean, it looks like they're doing better than they were, but we're hoping that the whole crowd gets there. But
Spike and I'll be there.
that's
Sean
right.
Dorsey. That's the
That's
captain
right.
of the crew. We actually got a room at Hotel Morgan. I think that's pretty cool, the best bar on High Street. At least I know some prices.
Well, we'll go
It
and
looks
see.
like a bar.
It looks like it's the priciest, huh?
Mm.
Well,
Which
that
is
one, I
good.
tell you, if Live Nation's running the bar, they'll be pricey for sure. I remember we did that Sparks thing. I couldn't believe how expensive it was.
Where did you guys see Sparks at?
We saw them at I forget the name of the theater. Shit, it was a small theater.
And well, that's
But it was up around U Street, and we just took. I mean, the way the metro let us right off. I mean, the subway let us off right in front of the. I mean, right across the street, it was right there. The
that goes back to the Todd connection. The only reason,
right by there was a Ben's Chili Bowl, and then there was that. It was awesome.
The only reason I know of Sparks is because back in the day, hey, Todd Rundgren produced this album.
That's right.
Hit it.
That's right.
Who else do I know like that? Yeah, the Tubes. I like the Tubes. Todd Rundgren connection.
Me too. I love the Tubes.
And then you used to blow your mind that you found out he had a Grand Funk Railroad connection, and he was actually the one that put the cowbell in.
Yeah, that's
the
crazy.
Cowbell Joe.
But the point of it is just to get through is that everybody loved Todd. Everybody went to Todd shows, and really when you stack him up against the other people at the time, I mean, he was absolutely about as big as the Stones back here.
I can see how
young.
Yeah, I can see how some of the older Todd fans might annoy him now.
It's true. It's true. What do you think of some of the newer stuff? Have you heard any?
See, I haven't I think Liars is the last one I bought and listened to, and it's just that's all music. I just my current living situation doesn't play. If I can't play it loud, I don't listen to music. And if I have headphones on, I can't.
Well, you're too busy making it. You're making it now. You're writing lyrics and doing a good job with that. But the thing of it is I think there was a period of time. I agree with you. There was a period of time I got that reproduction. Johnson is just. I just couldn't. The thing that really struck me about Johnson that I didn't like was it just sounded like. I mean, he was obligated to do this record. And it just sounded like he didn't care. I mean, who uses a drum machine on a bluesman's record, on a blues guy's record? I mean, you talk about the authentic.
You're a musician too, and I think
very strange. It's just
a lot of times, like new music, even though Todd Rundgren is making new music, some of his older albums that I listened to at a certain part of my life. Yeah, it's not only the music, GZP. It's like the memories and stuff.
Oh my God!
A Wizard, a True Star. It's like little snippets that stuff comes on, and I just think some joke I had to make, when talking about that.
Yeah, I've got my signed copies and stuff here. I did my things with Todd Stock and some of the parties and stuff, and I've had some.
Oh, don't get me wrong, it's cool.
I used to spend with him, but
it hasn't been that long since I quit buying the latest Todd CD.
Yeah, I'm not like Space
and now I'm
Force.
back to buying an album.
Yeah, I got Space Force, and it's okay. State is okay. I'm
what
not
was the one
really
that had tinfoil hat?
The one before was really good. The Trent Reznor, some of the songs on that one, the one before White Knight, are great, but some of them are just like it covers too much of a facet of things. It's more of a collection of singles now. I mean, we're not really, and that's the one thing that I want us to stay on. At least as far as the project we're on, and I'm glad we're on the trek we're on. We've always been on. I still believe in the album format. I still believe in delivering a message through a group of songs together as opposed to a single at a time and release this 2 months later. I know it's a modern times and I know it's
I like albums.
I do too, and maybe it's because I'm old.
Just because it's a good break, I think everything has a format.
Yeah. Well, we're just taking people to a place for here, come over here for a little while, and then you can go back to your life or whatever. That's
and like we talked before, back in the day, when I got into music, I knew what was on the radio, and then I'd hear like rumors. The older guys, you got to check out Pink Floyd. And I remember the second album I ever bought was "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd, and I hated it. I was like, "What's this?" I went from Kiss, and I know what it was. I hadn't smoked any weed yet. It's like I can't get into Pink Floyd at 12. I'm still in Boy Scouts.
I remember all those days, man. It was part of that. But the thing of it is, it's hard for some people outside of Kaiser to understand that, the foundational things of Dark Side of the Moon and records like that. I mean, for him to come.
And it was passed down.
Todd's was in there in Kaiser.
Oh yeah.
Todd's records were right in there with those.
Influenced you. You're the one turning me on Todd. I didn't find him.
Well, I wasn't just me, man. I got it from those other people.
I'm sure I know. I passed on John Davis.
Yeah, sure, man. Everybody was. So, I mean, we hope we can keep it going. And that's the whole idea, is to try to get.
Oh, this is gonna be
try to
great.
get things
Wednesday
going.
on High Street is gonna be fun. It's gonna be like a '70s reunion.
But I think it's going to be a band like you asked before. I think it's going to be like that Clearly Human band that I was telling about online. That he's going to have a multi-piece band. At least it looks like from the advertisement. So should be interesting. We'll hear some Nearly Human stuff.
Maybe doesn't he have West Virginia Girls? I don't think I've ever heard.
No, that he'll play that live only on a concert. I think to fuck with me and some other people from West Virginia. He wasn't just thinking of me, of course, but I mean, but it was just funny that there's a certain Appalachian thing, and he discovered it's on a. It's on
I
some
don't think I've
live
ever heard it.
broadcast. Yeah, he only played it like one time, and so it was on a bunch of compilations. But you may be able to find it if you go on YouTube. But it's basically don't marry the West Virginia. You know, hey, you girls in West Virginia, don't marry the West Virginia boys. Come over here to Kentucky and Ohio and marry a real winner. You know, that's what it's about. It's about how lousy men are. You know, how lazy and how no good people from West Virginia are, which might be true to a
Oh,
certain.
he can be a smart ass. Well, you know, like
No, I'm
don't get me
kidding.
started.
I love
but
my state.
There's usually a stereotype behind the stereotypes.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like-
that's right. Hey, I tell you though, we may be down from Huggins, but we have a new basketball coach now, so we're looking up, man. Let's hope.
I've been reading up on that guy. I like him.
Yeah, I do too.
I like Hugs, but you know, he's gone. He cooked his goose. That's not what this is about. This is about Todd Rundgren.
That's right.
At the Chasm always plays with him, doesn't he?
And he'll be there probably in this
Yeah.
one too. I would imagine. I think he was listed in the band. Yeah.
What did I saw? I watched some. You know, now that I have everything, you can search everything on TV. I watch nothing. But I remember watching something I was surprised Chasm played on. They toured with someone or something. Oh, well, I can't remember.
Well, Meatloaf, of course. You know.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, he toured with Blue Oyster Cult. He's played with Blue Oyster
That
Cult.
was it.
He's played
That
with,
was it.
That's probably it, because you know the Cult. Yeah, he played with the Cult. He played with.
They put out some new music now.
Joan Jett. That's
It
a
sucks
surprise.
as bad as Ace Frehley's new music.
Yeah, he's
It's like, man, God, it's like, do you have no editors? You know, that would be bad if you were a 13-year-old with those lyrics. Rocking on the moon or something. It's just like, I mean, Kiss never was their lyrics, but
Kiss came before Todd, but man, Todd's stuck, and Todd's really been a big influence on everybody, and lyrically, I think, and everything else. So, but anyway, I think we got about 20. We got a little bit of time now, so I think it's probably time to bump it off. Anything in closing you want to talk about, other than urge everybody to come if they
yeah, just May 15th. Look, Todd Rundgren. You know how Google works. It'll tell you where and when, but it's in Morgantown.
Yeah, avoid the scalp.
Be a bunch of us.
There's some left still there. Yeah, they have those. You know, they got real good tickets, but they've got those
Yeah, I got
those
mine.
packages, but they're not meet and greet. If they were meet and greet, I'd have bought a bunch of them. We'd all gone and
I got my Spiking Out tickets. We're right down like fourth row back in the front. I think some of my friends bought them on the wrong sites. They were like $90. Ticketmaster.
yeah, mine were good seats too. I think we're in third row. It depends on if Lisa goes. I might have to buy one more somewhere, but we're still trying to twist her arm. But I think we got some stuff with the kids. That's close to graduation day, but anyway. Yeah.
I had tickets to the same place for Rodriguez, and then COVID hit. I had to eat all four of them. Ever since then, I never usually buy tickets till like the night before. And I've got great deals in Rolling Stone tickets. You know, these people that pay $600, I guarantee you, I'm standing right beside you in that pit, and I paid $100 that morning.
You talking about Detroit Sussex Records, Rod Rodriguez, that guy from
Yeah. He was going to play.
the guy that got big in South Africa
Yeah.
or whatever. He was a big star there. Wow.
Oh man, that blew me away. That documentary.
Yeah,
If you haven't watched it, watch it. Rodriguez.
Oh, I have. It's a great thing too. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to sign off now. Till next time, we will see you on the next episode. Remember to like, follow, leave your comments below. Tell me how wrong I am. We're big boys. We can take it. We'll talk to you guys later and see you next time. Thanks, Jay, for coming.
Oh, I'm having a blast.